Everything stated in this video is my opinion and my opinion only. And just like everything else in these cases we discuss here on this channel, everything is alleged. Hey, you guys. Good evening, good evening, good evening. Happy Taco Tuesday. Okay, so 11/19/22, as you can see here, roadway in front of 1122 King Road. And see, these are the tire marks that they start taking photos of. I'm just not sure if they're the same ones or not. I don't know if they're just marking them because it's the only ones that they have visible at the time that they're going over there. And obviously this would have been after they saw the camera footage. But see how some of these are white, almost like they're like, I mean, I don't really know why they would be white. To me, white stuff like that on concrete is more like a scratch type thing. Or, I mean, I don't really quite sure. I don't know. I don't go around regularly burning my tires. So I don't really know how it would look from, you know, different tires, different, you know, temperatures, maybe doing something. I'm not really quite sure. But they just take a whole lot of photos of these. Now, I did have somebody leave a really weird comment one time saying that they matched the tire marks to his car because these were tires that he had on his Hyundai Elantra that were only sold in Pennsylvania. But then it turned out that he actually got tires in Washington at some point, I think is what we found, like receipts for tires once he got to Washington. So even that just like got thrown out. People just say like the craziest stuff. So this is them like measuring it so they can try to see exactly like the width of the vehicle that they would have been in. I just don't know, like, are these, they're very visible right there. Like, is it noticeable to know like if these are fresh or if these are older? Because you have to remember the age of the demographic that lives in this area. And I know that whenever I was in high school and I was around people that had, you know, race cars and souped up trucks and things like that, whenever I was in my younger 20s, spinning out and leaving marks everywhere and doing stupid stuff was like a thing that they did all the time. So I don't know if they could tell like how fresh these really were to be relevant. I don't know. I don't know at all. And see, like right here, I guess it's like the tire mark. It's hard to tell because it looks like it's just like some wet and dry cement. Like it's really difficult for me to sort of like understand what it is they're trying to show me here. Like if you go sideways, this sort of looks like a boot print spot, like right here, but this isn't wet or freshly dried, you know, stuff. So that wouldn't even make any sense. I'm just really not quite sure like what this is supposed to be. It just looks like I'm looking at a crack in the cement. And see how many of them they have? He's just like moving around a little bit and like retaking the photo. It looks to me like rained on concrete. I guess this could be just like the whole width of just one side and then trying to get a full measurement of it, but it's really difficult to see like what diameter or what perimeter they're using. And see, like, is this a shadow or is this like part of the actual marking? It's hard to tell. See, because it gets lighter right here. Move me up a little. I mean, yeah, I guess it would be like a tire mark, but it's just an interesting. Did they spray something on it maybe? Because it's just, to me, it's just on with the naked eye and not seeing like the full view. It's just interesting to see how it would look like this because that looks like wider marks, but not really like tire marks. I don't know. I just feel like this is a lot of like, I don't even know what this is. But this is also why I'm not, you know, some sort of tire expert. I mean, it's like white streaks. Yeah, I mean, I guess it would be tire width. It's just strange looking. Because if you just saw this randomly somewhere without any sort of context, you'd be like, what is this? Because it's like white marks, like here, here, and here. It's just very strange looking for it to be a tire mark. Like, why is it lighter colored? So like this would be the actual like rubber on the tire itself, according to this comment by Mark. And then that would, like, this white spot would be like where there's like a gap in between the spacing of the tread, and this would be where the rubber of the tire like re-met. So then the white spots are spacings in between the actual rubber. It's just kind of strange that it would look like that still, I guess. It's hard to tell like how many streaks are actually in this, because that's like crazy. It's almost more prominent here. Way more prominent here. Yeah, see, this doesn't look like anything to me right here. You can see it here. Well, this is actually the 19th. So this is 6 days after the crime took place. 6 days after, so almost a week. And I don't know, like they couldn't have closed that road off. So unless they have photos of these exact same marks on the 13th that they took, I just don't see why they're wasting time with this, because this is almost a week later and people had to drive in and out of that spot. Yeah, it's like a week. I mean, it just looks like regular asphalt, like how it looks like normally. It's different. I'm trying to see, like this one, you can see it's more prominent. Here's like the spacing, but here's like a wider spacing. I don't know. It just looks like some rained on asphalt. That one, you can see the stripes real well. Like really well. Here too. And I mean, I guess that they could like narrow down what they were looking for like this, but there's no way that it's showing you like an actual pattern. I mean, it's showing you like, I don't know whether you'd call it a vertical or a horizontal pattern, because it's leaving a horizontal pattern, but the fact that the tire is like upright, is it a vertical pattern? Regardless, it does have like a pattern of spacing in it, but when it comes to like actual tread design, I wonder how many cars it would actually fit. Probably freaking a lot. Here, 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 and here. There's so many. We're at almost 100 already, and it's all the same thing. Yeah, that's what I mentioned earlier. That I don't know. It's hard for me to tell, like, from the way that they're doing this, because I don't have the video up, but they look like they're almost in the same spot. Maybe they're over towards the house a little bit more, because she's like in the front drive area, like the parking area, and they're sort of like behind her. It is almost in the same spot. I'll have to get the video out and like do just a little quick comparison and see, like in just a small video by itself, so that we can see like the placement. But even so, like this is a whole week afterwards. Like how do they know for sure that this was actually there on the 13th? I know we heard screeching. I get that. I know we heard tires, and I know that they, are showing a car taking off like a bat out of hell. I know. See, this looks like rocks that got caught in the tire. But it's going the opposite direction. Like if these are lines, meaning the tire would be going this way, these scratch marks are going the opposite. Like they're going up instead of sideways. So that doesn't really work for me. Okay, now we're getting to the house itself. Outside the window, where this is after they've already moved everything from the kitchen over to this table. Now, given what Bethany was saying, some people are wondering if maybe it was a table in the kitchen area that she actually heard and not really the table where the cups were. So that's possible. But yeah, these are still just like a week after photos. See, they have a bunch of cleared up space in the kitchen back there. Jack in the Box bag. So this must have been before, yeah, because this plant, I think it's this plant, when they get it back over there to the kitchen, like it's knocked over, the dirt's all sticking out of it. Poor thing. See, they're trying to take pictures of like I know there's like handprints or whatever, but there was also a face looking thing. But I don't know if this is something that they like put in there with their finger to like mark it, or if this is what they're actually measuring. But see how it almost looks like it almost looks like a smiley face, but it also kind of looks like an L. But it could have been like a face. It's hard to tell. But they have this whole this is like a whole square that they have. I guess, is that the handprint? These are like so close up, it's hard to tell. I guess, is that the palm print? Yeah. It has like a curvature in it. Yeah, like right here. You can see the palm. And then they have that little face thing. Just kind of like, it's just difficult to see. So was something like taped there before? Because that's like a perfect square looking thing. Just the little face. See, is that marker? That almost looks like marker. But then you look here and you can see like the smears. But I guess it could be like a dry erase marker that got used to draw through it. It could be a forensic mark. I don't know why the hell you would mark on the window whenever you can just take pictures of stuff. It's hard to tell, especially with it being so dirty from the pollen. Yeah, this is like the finger. This is like the pinky. This is the palm. Yeah, palm mark. So many pictures. Farther away. See, now the hand looks different. It looks like it's this way. Yeah, this must be forensics writing, because then now this says L2. So they're just using their fingers and drawing in the dust to make notations for things that they have to take pictures of. That's wild. They go inside the kitchen in here too. Which, just like, honestly, like for Kohberger, I don't know why we have to see their food and stuff that they have. I mean, it's interesting to see like how they lived and stuff, but it doesn't like, answer questions. So, they're starting to box stuff up. I do have a lot of interest in the fact that down here it looks like it's darker. I know that we saw this previously in one of the other drops, but it does look like there's some dark spots here where the amido black turned like that black blue color, and then a few specks down here where it turned that dark color too, showing that it's mixing with the protein. So maybe we'll get some results from that, but they never said that they got anything from the door frame, I don't believe. So I don't know. They did move their stuff around a whole lot before they ended up actually boxing it up. We have seen some of these before, but I think this is just like a different day. Because this looks like really familiar, but I guess they would take the same versions. Okay, so I'm pretty sure that like we noticed this before. But there is, well, I guess it'll get to it in a second. On the steps, there is like one of those little airplane bottle liquor bottles. And it just reminds me of what they said about Eric Gower. Because I kind of wonder if maybe going out to, I mean, Eric really know maybe about it. I've questioned it since the beginning about the whole like food thing. And about if he actually went back that night or not. So I don't know, but that little bitty bottle being on the step is interesting. See, we did see some of this stuff previously. They ended up getting into this little case right here and opening it up. This is up on the 3rd floor. Kaylee's room would be off to this direction, and then the bathroom and Maddie's room would be off to this direction. Yeah, we've seen some of this stuff. I remember like going through these and being like, some of this stuff is like really familiar. I don't know why they're so like jumbled, but this is also like giving us a good example of everything that Ann Taylor had told us, because she told us, going through court, telling it to the judges, telling them how things were going, that they were getting just like a jumbled mess of information that was difficult for them to, go through because it wasn't labeled. It was just in there, not really, just in there, no order whatsoever. And I just don't understand how, like, that's how you conduct these cases. It's completely not professional whatsoever. Now, see, I questioned seeing a couple things in these yesterday. I really wondered if this was a camera over here. Someone said that they've seen this area before and it's not a camera, that it's a placard with the address on it. I don't believe that. It doesn't look big enough for that. It looks very circular. I asked, this is the area where I asked MPD if there was footage from this area, and they said no. Now, this could just be a light. It might not be a camera. It could just be a light, but it's just interesting because of, what Payne's report says. But this is the area where I really felt like there would be camera footage. I really felt like there would be. Payne said something that he saw has Molly driving into this area, the front parking area of King Road, and sees the white Hyundai Elantra pulling in behind her. Those are very specific words. It's not pulling onto King Road from Queen or pulling into the neighborhood. It's pulling into the front parking lot and getting out to drop off the DoorDash order, and a car specifically pulling in behind Molly. It's very, 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 very specific. So again, I don't know if this is a camera or not. I just know that that's the direction that I figured one would be. To be able to see it, if that was what was happening, I don't really quite know. Now, I did notice some other structures up at the top of these buildings. I haven't gone in to check her videos yet, but I had a lot of people, well, I had like one person say that Lana with Truth and Transparency drove around this area. And I guess she already like took video of these spots up here and said that they weren't cameras. That's just what the comment said. I don't know if that's the truth or not. I haven't had the time to sit down and go and look at her channel to see if I can find what videos that she still has up of her driving around that area or anyone else, because I know quite a few people went over there. But this looks like a camera to me. It's very rectangular. It looks like it's plugged in at an angle. It's pointing backwards, and it's not the only one. There's other ones at the top of this apartment building that are looking the exact same way. They're a rectangle. It looks like it could be a camera. I don't know if it's a camera. I just know what it kind of looks like a little bit to me. And we've had a lot of questions about things. Now, this right here, I believe, is like Taylor and then coming into Queen. So none of this would have anything to do with being able to see anything that was going on at King Road itself. This would just be people coming in and out of the neighborhood. See, so this is the house where that one camera might have been. But see, something could have been over here too, but I just don't know if it could have seen something really. And see, like there's like a little light over here too. This just looks like a little light. It could be a camera. I mean, some people do care to protect them damn selves, I don't know, but I don't know at the same time. I just know that Payne saw something somewhere, and I'm like determined to find out exactly where it's at. So I'm glad that these came out, because it really like gives you a better idea. See this right here, this top of this house, this is the Shark Tank house. This is where Xana used to live before she moved into 1122. Okay, see, okay, then you can see it a little bit better over here on this side. Okay, so see, here's this one where we were just looking at right here. But this next building has another one, and I mean, you can't see it as close, but you can see that in the same spot at the top of the building, they've got what looks to be another similar structure, like little thing. Again, I don't know if it's camera, but if it is a camera, it's pointing to the back parking lot back there. What it looks like. if that's what that is. Again, I don't know. I just know that it looks like a rectangular camera head. And yeah, the camera head. If y'all watch the crazy stuff on YouTube with the skibbities and the camera head people and stuff like that, it looks like a freaking camera head. So I don't know. Plus, I'm really curious as to if like any of these like apartments have Ring doorbells, because some people will just get like their own, so they have protection. There's nothing on these doors. I'm really curious, though, as to if any of them had their own little security system in their rooms that we just haven't heard anything about, because they did have so many people going in and out all of the time. But I don't know, because like we know the lock situation and how the locks really weren't locking. The locks really just were not locking. There's that ladder. Now we're going to get towards the back end. So this is where they're going to go back around the whole house, like the whole perimeter of the house. Now this is where some of those footprints would have been in the snow, but there's still like some issues with that, because again, one of the officers has the steps going in between, I think they said 1118 and 1126, so like somewhere this direction. But then one of the other officers says that the steps are going towards the front of the house, and it can't be both. I mean, I guess it could be both, but the fact that we're not getting like consistent reports is interesting to me. I don't really know what to think about it, especially since now we're being told, you know, at least by Bethany, that her and Maddie are the ones who went out the back door to take Murphy to go to the bathroom. So I don't know. I don't know what they're trying to show right here, except for maybe just like how thick the foliage is. Maybe that's about it. Now we're back to the side of the house. It's actually kind of cool if you go through these like really, really quickly. It looks like, you know, those like flip books where it like shows like tells a story, like whenever you flip it and it's like sort of like animated from flipping it. It sort of has this just like spiral pattern that it takes, because they're taking them in such like, you know, sequential order. It's kind of cool if you just go like real fast and look at it to see like how in pattern they are, like in line they actually are. Can't tell from that side about that corner. I wonder how many of these that they actually have, besides like the first ones that we've seen, because we have like Snyder's. We know that ISP took photos on the same day too, but these are being labeled as the 19th. So this is a whole 6 days after the event. I wonder how many people have already been like in and out of this area already, trampling around in the backyard. There's that window. I mean, it doesn't look any different really than from the ones that we already had. They really didn't do anything back here. All of this stuff is still the same. There's the steps that lead up into this back parking lot area. It is pretty thick. Someone could definitely like stand there in certain areas and not be noticed. Which that's another thing that I'm going to be, there's that cooler bag. That's not a backpack, it's a cooler. That's another thing though that I'm going to be getting together soon, is all of the reports of a stalker that are actually in the damn reports from people that knew Kaylee, and then the cops coming out and being like, no stalking, no stalking, no stalking. And like, I understand that they're telling us that they can't, you know, they want us to understand it's a fact that the stalking allegations against Kohberger were not technically true at all. Because, you know, Thompson stood up and was like, false statements. That was not true. Those are false statements. Well, they also pushed off the fact that Kaylee had a stalker altogether in the very beginning, just to find out that they were being told by multiple people that she did have a stalker. So, yeah, cool. You're telling us that the guy that you are telling us didn't stalk them whatsoever, that those are false statements. But you also completely just threw away the fact that somebody was stalking Kaylee altogether before we even knew who he was. So why would y'all do that? Why would y'all do that with all of these people and all of these reports claiming that something was really going on? So now I'm really second guess if maybe the vape shop guy that came out in the very beginning and said how the girls had mentioned something about somebody having a stalker. Now I'm like wondering if maybe he's not full of it. And, maybe they really did have that conversation in passing, because you just never know. See, it looks like there might be like lights back here. I don't know if any one of these would have been a camera, but maybe one of these would have been close enough to be able to see the front parking lot, but I don't think so either. But yeah, this is one of the Sosei backpacks. But look how it's still back there. Like, why are you just leaving that back there? Why is this 6 days after the event and you haven't even picked this up? Like, you don't know if it's evidence or not. It's a cooler, not really a backpack. So it's obviously for like alcohol, probably because of, the theme of the place. But you just leave it back there. You don't even bother to even check and see if maybe there's something on it, something to do with it. I feel like they probably should have picked it up regardless, but that's just me. I wonder if this doorbell even worked. Or if it was just sitting there. This must have been fairly early in the morning because there's like that, thin frost on it. I don't know if the front page set a time. Look, they've got a bunch of stuff out here. Are they unboxing stuff, or is this their like equipment? Xana's little Honda. And now they go inside. Yeah, a lot of these, again, they're not taken on the same days, but they're all going to look really familiar. I don't know what this is right here. I don't remember seeing this before right here. This might have been something that they brought with them, because it says copy. Yeah, it looks like it's the same kind of header like we see a lot in the documents. So that's got to be something that they just brought with them. See right here how there's like that little bottle? I'm not saying that like Eric Gower is the only way possible that it could have gotten there. It just makes me like remember what we were told about him. And then there's the fact that he was asked if he was still out driving, and then all of a sudden 3 minutes later he responds and she just like never gets back to him ever. It's just kind of weird. That whole thing is just sketchy as hell. In my opinion. That's from the wreath that fell off, I guess. There's a lot of scratches in the wall. I wish that these would have had like a more specific point on it. Look, there's more of them down here. Fireball bottles, it looks like. I wish they would have had more of a point to show us exactly the spot where the blood on the stair rail was. I don't remember if they have it completely pointed out in the old drop of photos either. But I'm going to try to get them all together in like one thing, like a video wise where they play slowly. Hopefully I'll be able to date them correctly, but I don't know if we have dates for the other drops. Is that blood on the floor? I guess maybe it could be, but it doesn't look like they're treating it like it. Yeah, I guess they're just trying to get like a feel for the house some more. See, this is that room that only like Team Idaho could get into. Then it's going back to the bathroom, back to the hallway. See, some of those were just repetitive, it looked like. See the little bottles? Oh, 1 second. Okay, I had to get a cough drop because, yeah, I'm still coughing. I'm still coughing. I don't really feel it in here anymore, but I'm still obviously coughing my face off. So that's just beautiful. But okay, this is that room that the Team Idaho key apparently was like the only key that could get into it. But you're going to see here in a minute when we get down to the kitchen. What is that? That there's a key for, well, I can't sit here and say there's a key for this in the kitchen in the drawer. But again, it has the Team Idaho tag. I guess it could be like a spare key to the house. I don't know why you'd leave it in a kitchen drawer, but I don't know. Why do we have to see so many pictures of this? I mean, I wouldn't know if there was something messed with here or not, but I mean, these have been around for a while. So I think if there was something like, misconstrued about it, we'd have somebody in the HVAC, profession come out and say something by now. It just looks like a regular old utility room. Yeah, see the key? This is the one that he came out and was like, there's a door that's locked, and everyone was freaking out. It was that door. Now, again, this is not how this cup was. This got stepped on by a cop or somebody. And that's another thing. Like, some of this nasty on these steps might be more than it was before because there's been a lot of traffic in this house over the past week. We did see photos previously of where they put the Amido block on the steps, I do believe. It looks like there's still some like left over. See, this is the spot where people were kind of questioning what's going on here. I just don't remember if we had this kind of stain on the steps in the previous photos, but it looks like there's like still some Amido black left. See right here in this corner. And remember when we were looking at them previously, the Amido black had gotten into the grooves and had pulled in underneath the nails of the step border right here. So I don't know if this was here already or if this is a new mess. Because again, there's still like remnants of Amido black on the step here. And see how it's like a multiple steps? There's a lot of people from a lot of different departments going in and out of this house in the last 6 days. Because again, these were taken on 11/19. Now, eventually this backpack and this ottoman thingy, it all ends up on the opposite side of the living room, more towards like over here. One thing I do notice in this one that I don't remember before, you're going to see it up here. It's like a blue blazer. And if I'm not mistaken, I think it's Ethan's, the one that he wore to the dance he went to with his sister. I'm going to try to find a picture of it here in a second to compare it when we get to a closer photo of it. See here, they moved the table. They moved the table and kept the cups up. A lot of people touch this. You know how much DNA is probably right here on this pleat, on this right here, because this is where most people will touch this wall going around it. I bet you there's a lot. Yeah, I don't remember seeing this like big nasty here before. And see, like there's some staining right here too. See, like, you can't just like point to us exactly the spot. I guess maybe they would have already done their testing. Because what are we looking right here for? I don't see nothing. Maybe they're just showing a 360 of the house again. Is that a harmonica? I don't know what that is. Yeah, see the jacket? I don't remember seeing that jacket before. Let me see if I can find that photo real quick. I don't know if I'm going to be able to find it just like quick. It's showing me a million other photos, but not the one that I'm looking for. And I don't just like keep a whole file of pictures. I don't do that kind of stuff. So I don't just like have it. Ethan Chapin and siblings formal. Maybe this isn't one of theirs. Okay, let me open this picture. Oh, okay. So is this the one? Is this the picture of them from before? I don't think so, right? This is older. This doesn't look like the one that I was looking for. It might be. I'm going to leave that there for a second while I keep scrolling. But y'all can tell me in the chat if that's the one from Hunga Dunka. I'm not really quite sure. Hunter looks a lot younger there. But then I guess I do have to remember that this happened 3 years ago. I think that is the one from the formal. It's the only one of all three of them that it's showing whenever I type in Ethan, Chapin, and siblings formal. But if this is the one, yeah, that's kind of what I thought. I thought that he looked too young. See, like I'm trying to find it on here and I'm not seeing it. Like I've seen it in my mind 1.5 million times. I have it on Canva, but it'll take me forever and a day to go in and actually find it. So I'll just look later. I'll look at another time and I'll compare them. I just don't know at this point if Hunter wore, if Ethan wore blue. He probably would have wore blue because he wore blue. He was the boy in blue, you know. I don't know why it's not showing me the direct picture. I know the frick it knows what I'm asking for. Yeah, I'll look in a little bit and see if I can find it. But if it is his, it makes sense because now we know, now we know a different story about that whole situation, which is another thing that we've got to try to figure out, which is true. We're being told from the book and from the Amazon series that Hunter and Ethan went back to Sigma Chi and that Xana was already there partying whenever Ethan got there. He met her at Sigma Chi. From the interviews and the newer information we're getting, we're being told that Ethan walked Bethany, Xana, and I think Maddie, like showed up at 11:22 and walked them over there, which is a different story. So it would make sense if that's his jacket, because we know that he, at least we're being told now that he went to King Road, like he went to 1122 King Road before he went to Sigma Chi, see? So it would make sense that he just like put it down. But then again, he was always over there a lot anyway. So for it to be there and not at Sigma Chi is not surprising. Is that the same sock that was on the floor? They moved it? Wait, so is there like a whole pair of Doc Martens in the living room now? Because here's one underneath the couch. And up here they have one on the floor. Oh, come on, keep going. Where's it at? Right here. You see how it's like down here? Hold on. A better angle of it? Right here. There is. So we have the pair that Maddie wore are like upstairs on the floor of her room next to her pants. We can see them in the Moscow photos we got first before they did the thing. And now we're seeing a pair in here. We were told that pretty much everybody wore those kinds of boots. So I guess seeing that's not surprising. I just don't remember seeing the full pair in there the first time we saw those photos, but I guess it could have been under the couch like all the way. Yeah, they also end up taking this stuff out and like rearranging it and taking more photos of it later. Are those beers in there? That's what those backpacks were used for. Remotes. Puppy toy. We know that colander or whatever that is wasn't there originally, and then this table's in a different spot. I mean, I'm guessing that they're not really thinking that they're going to see anything different in these photos. So are they just for like preservation purposes? I wish they would just go ahead and unplug that damn thing. Because here's a cup right next to it. It just drives me crazy. And with our cap to one of those little bitty bottles. These are so much more cleaner. I mean, I get it, like there was less traffic from the second to the third floor, but it's still just crazy. The difference. All their blankets and extra stuff. Crafting things, hot glue gun, pumpkins. Why are we taking a picture of like this wall? What's on it? I can't tell what's on the wall for them to be doing that. I guess it's just like actually all around 360 photos. Is this maybe so they can like compare the 3D scans that they didn't actually end up using for anything spectacular? I can't believe how much money they spent on 3D scans just to make a freaking dollhouse that didn't actually have to be to scale. What? They used this damn case like a damn money grab. Any and every little extra thing they could get, they did it for what? Damn dollhouse. Wild as hell. I wonder what they're going to do with that thing now. Is it just going to sit there? Is it going to go into some sort of like crime museum or some shit? I can't believe how much money that damn thing cost. I want to FOIA the FBI for that shit. Because they had like some FBI specialists do it. Instead of some dollhouse maker, some guy who actually puts like passion and profession into doing stuff like that, who probably would have put it to scale. They just had some FBI guy do it. I want to know what the 3D scans look like. Like, is it not something that you can like actually put into like a virtual reality set and like actually look at it? Or can it make a house in a 3D model and like print it, 3D print it? Can it do that? Because again, they they did it before the preliminary was supposed to happen. And then whenever he waived his right and everything got pushed back, they were like all excited because now they could go in and do it correctly and like do more stuff. And I was like, wow, so y'all lied, saying that y'all were ready to do this and y'all were not ready to do this at all. So then they had an updated version. There was like an upgrade to the Faro scanner. So you know what comes with upgrades? Higher prices. So however much they paid the first time, they ended up having to pay a hell of a lot more for it to happen the second time. See, I'm wondering, a lot of people think, and I'm wondering too, if this is the noise, like this table moving around for some reason was the noise that Bethany maybe heard. I don't know what's the point in like, why are you even taking a picture of this? This is not even like how it was open in the very first set of photos. I don't see the point of taking a photo of this door like this right now. Just looking at that orange juice is giving me heartburn. I will say this is a dirty kitchen for there's supposed to be a cleanup. But I guess, I mean, the cleanup doesn't necessarily mean, oh, they cleaned the house. It's they cleaned certain things. And I just know that there's way too many questions here. Way too many lies. Way too many inconsistencies. Some people think that they made it look messier than it really was. Like, obviously, you really can't fake, like, old food and shit like that. But it's possible that they went around and just, like, put a bunch of crap all over the place to make it look messy, to make it look distracting. 8 hours is a long time. And we already have proof from their phones they were not asleep. They were not asleep. But this is like regular schmegular stuff right here. This looks like my drawer. See right here, Team Idaho. Right there. So I wonder if that's the door to that closet. So they must have multiple of these same ones. Because that's the exact same one that's on the table. I wonder if this is the drink that they're trying to say was delivered that night. Because it's full. I don't know. I'd like them to actually show me something regarding the DoorDash and who answered the door. See how the lettuce is bad? I mean, I get like you don't want to move the crime scene too much, but y'all basically moved around everything that was important. So why can't you get rid of this produce before it really stinks the house up even worse? If that would have been turned on back there, that would have melted and been stanky. Seasoning cabinet. Plant overprocessed. Just looks like a regular kitchen. Black tea, stress relief tea. Lots of random stuff, but they had a bunch of different people living in there. I love the Pepto next to the onions. You can tell they were college age. See, look, there's one of them random little bottles. Like, it's just down there by itself. It's full. Just leaning and hanging out. It's the only one in there. See it? It's just hanging out by its lonesome. He's like grocery list, I wonder. Let's see if I can read what it says. Nope. Maybe. Nope. Math something. Grad something. It's a math thing. It's about all I can make out on that. It's got something to do with math. Let me use this stuff. Back to the steps. This is going back up to the third floor. See, I bet you these lights right here were on too that night. Because there's one right here and there's one in the turn of the step facing down into like the actual turn. We saw that on the body cam. And I think some of the other pictures. Right here. Right here. See, this would be Maddie's room would be that way. So then this reflection that you're seeing right here, this is in Kaylee's room. This is Kaylee's like desk, it looks like. So this is where surprised I didn't redact these with how they've been acting. This would be the desk that Murphy was under in that one photo that Snyder would have taken of him before they took him to the animal place. See the lettuce and stuff? And look at this. It's gotten so bad it's liquidy. Why wouldn't y'all just throw that stuff out, bro? Clothes. They had a lot of extra clothes if they had clothes out into the hallway and they had their bedrooms. That's a lot of extra clothes. I've never been that girl. My sister is that girl. My mom's like that too. Lots of stuff. I just can't. It's too much clutter. Can't do it. This would be Maddie and Kaylee's like bathroom that they would share on the third floor. It would share a wall with Maddie's room. Olaplex Shit's expensive. It's not a bad view. It's a nice neighborhood looking outside. I don't know what they were closing off or not showing in here. They do that up here in this cabinet, maybe medication. Maybe it's a birth control prescription with like a name and information on it. I'm not sure. But they do it down at the bottom too. See here? I don't know what in the world could be down here that they're not showing. This looks like a box. See right here how they'll like, here's the toilet paper, but then there's like a lid flap to a box. I mean, they're not redacting tampons, so what is that for? Why are they doing that? Super curious. Now we know that those are pictures, but who keeps photos of family that need to be redacted in the bathroom under the sink where the chemicals are? Now, see, I don't understand what the hell the unnecessary bullshit is with these people still, because why in the world did they have portions of this damn thing redacted? Why? These are just like magazine pieces. These don't seem to be pictures of anybody in that house. These are like stuff from magazines. But there was parts of, I don't remember what parts it was, but I think it was this one. Maybe, and something else. But it was like redacted. And I just don't understand what was the game with that, because you just made everyone think that there was something going on there or something nefarious there or something that needed to be actually like privated, and there wasn't. It's all a bunch of magazine shit. We're almost done around 596 and there's only 602. So you see there's not really anything like too crazy. Mostly those the tire mark things. Cigarette butt. Somebody who smoked Camel cigarettes. I wonder if this is the one that they talked about that they DNA'd. But I don't think so, because there's a whole narrative of them surveilling somebody and like describing the way that the person was sitting down and smoking a cigarette and like putting the butts near his feet. Like there's a whole story. And then they have this disposable camera. But that seems to be it when it comes to these. It's only 9 o'clock. It's only been an hour and a half. We went through 600 pictures real quick, broskies. Thank you for spending some time with me on your Tuesday night. I'm going to go ahead and roll my, where's thingamabobber? Where's it at? Okay, I found it. Let me go ahead and roll this real quick. Please do not forget to leave a like on your way out and subscribe to the channel if you are not subscribed already. All right, you guys. See y'all.